And he'll be taking on the tail of the tape here with Ricardo Chávez, 26 years old, Iván Valenzuela, 27. When we talk about their heights, looks like the slight advantage is to Iván Valenzuela at 6'2", 6 feet for Ricardo Chávez. And look at the weights, 183. Ivan still a little bit less, to 182 pounds to Ricardo Chávez. 3-1 for Valenzuela, 6 wins, 8 losses for the experience over to Ricardo Chávez from Mexico City against Reynosa.
All right, the voice of the Octagon, Felipe de Maria.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight, it's 3 rounds in the middleweight division. Señoras y señores, nuestro siguiente combate es a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en la categoría de peso medio de LUX Fight League. Presentando primero en la esquina blanca, un experto en Muay Thai, récord profesional de 3 ganadas, 1 perdida, una altura de 1,88 centímetros y un peso oficial de 183.6 libras. On the white corner, he's an expert in Muay Thai, professional record of 3 wins, 1 loss, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, and official weight of 183.6 pounds from Veracruz, Veracruz, and fighting straight out of Reynosa, Tamaulipas, Mexico, he's Iván Bam Bam Valenzuela. Al otro lado de la jaula, en la esquina negra, él es striker, récord profesional de 6 ganadas, 8 perdidas, una altura de 1,84 centímetros y un peso oficial de 182.4 libras. He's a striker on the black corner. 6 wins, 8 losses. Standing 6 feet tall and official weight of 182.4 pounds. Fighting straight out of Ciudad de Mexico, he's Ricardo Woody Chávez. Referee en turno, Miguel Jiménez.
This will be a matchup between the big boys. Iván Valenzuela, one of the biggest prospects at LUX, and then a veteran in Ricardo Woody Chávez.
¿Estás listo? ¿Estás
ready
listo?
to provide us with some fireworks. These 2 fighters, and here we go.
This might be quick, Francisco.
Oh yeah, alongside UFC veteran Alex Soto, I'm your host, Francisco X Rivera. Glad that you can join us. Iván Valenzuela, white trunks, he's 6'2". Woody Chávez, black trunks, is 6 feet tall, and he misses in that initial leg kick.
Chávez is a little bit smaller. You know, when you see him face to face, you know, Bam Bam's got a lot of more mass, and he's just a bigger person.
Once again, missing with a leg kick and putting himself in a bad position there as Valenzuela countered with a leg kick.
Bam Bam's doing really well, good measurements.
Wow, big hands right there by Valenzuela, pushes his opponent against the cage.
And you can see that was a big right hand looping that just barely glazed Chávez's chin. Keep an eye out for that one.
Missing and then getting hit below the belt.
Yeah, that was unintentional. It was a really good switch kick. That just...
Yeah, Valenzuela getting a warning. What do you go through when you get kicked like that, Alex?
Man, there's nothing your body can do. There it is. Looks how he avoids the inside kick, and then he responds beautifully. Fortunately, lands right on the cup. I mean, we could hear the cup smacking all the way from here. You know, absolutely, it was unintentional. I don't think there was any purposeful, you know, malicious intent in that kick. But it happens.
Is he going to affect him mentally or physically?
Well, the fighter said he was ready to go. It doesn't seem like. We'll find out right now.
Let's trust him for the moment. Valenzuela faking, and they're going for the leg kick, missing again.
Nice little movement there. A little switch of stance there from Bam Bam. Establishing the distance.
Big shots just missed from both parties there. Another leg kick. Finally landing here for Ricardo Chávez.
Bam Bam's being very patient. He's holding that right hand. He's trying to measure, get a good measure here of Chávez.
Sergio Draco Cosillo with his very visible green hair right there on Iván Valenzuela's corner. One of the hottest tickets inside the LUX Fight League cage. Big stand-up striker, big talent here at LUX, helping Iván Valenzuela on his camp from Tamaulipas, Mexico.
Bam Bam's doing a great job. He's kicking lows, going high, going low, going high, throwing that right hand. He's setting all this up for that right hand. Really good distance, measuring the distance. Now he's getting a good read now on Chávez.
And as you said before the fight, these guys are taking their precautions, taking their time, knowing that a single punch can end the night for either one. Big kick right there, although once again in a bad position. Valenzuela ready to go. Pushes his opponent there. Flashy kick, but once again, every time that Chávez is kicking, he's putting himself in a bad position against Valenzuela.
That right hand's flashed him. It just barely grazed the side of his head, and was Chávez woke up at the, holding on to the mats. Valenzuela recognizes it. He's just measuring right now. He's being very patient. He's having a lot of fun out there, but he's got to be careful because Chávez is still very dangerous.
A minute and a half left here in this first round. We're behind closed doors in Monterrey, Mexico. Most of us have been in the bubble for a couple of days at least. The fighters came to Monterrey earlier between Monday and Tuesday from the hotel and to the venue, back and forth for rehearsals, but that's been it. We're in different times during the pandemic, but enjoying that what we're doing now, Alex.
Valenzuela is doing a fantastic job attacking that leg, that lead leg, and it's starting to take effect. It's really slowing down Chávez, and now that's going to allow Chávez to try to defend it. Look, he's limping on it right now. Now he's setting up for that right hand. Chávez is feeling a little bit more comfortable now throwing that right hand, setting it up, attacking the lead leg.
And once again, Valenzuela breaking down his opponent, going to the legs first, and then setting up the combination, going for the flying knee, and Chávez with a very timely takedown right there, although Valenzuela going for the high guard. Let's see if he tries something, although we're getting close to the end of the first round here in Mexico.
Bam Bam just got a little bit too excited there and was able to get taken down.
Going for the heel, that we're in the dying moments of the first round. As you said, he got overexcited. He hasn't fought since November. So a long time coming, actually, for both fighters.
Absolutely, and it was a really good attempt there to try to go for that toe hold. It was a nice switch kick, and now this is a story. One of the things that's really impressive here, Valenzuela, is Bam Bam's able to go low, go high, go low in those kicks, and really is keeping Chávez guessing of what's going to come next. It's very impressive, and here's that overexcited Bam Bam that ended up getting taken down.
Sergio Draco Cosillo, who won the title in the last LUX Fight League event that we had in Mexico City. It seems like a long time ago, but it was back in February.
It really has. We've been through a lot in the last few months. But we're coming here in the second round now, and you know, we're seeing the real damaging effects. You can see the right leg, or the lead left leg of Chávez, bright red from all those inside and outside leg kicks that have been landing for Bam Bam.
Good strategy so far for Valenzuela, once again breaking his opponent slowly. And then let's see what kind of support Chávez is going to have after being punished with several vicious leg kicks.
Listo, esquina.
Props to our great production team as well, delivering these kind of amazing jib shots for you. And we're here inside the show center alongside Alex Soto and Francisco X Rivera. And inside the cage are Iván Valenzuela, known as Bam Bam, white trunks, black trunks for Ricardo Woody Chávez. What are you expecting in the second round, Alex?
I'm expecting the same thing here, but I'm assuming that those leg kicks are really trying or starting to make good use for Bam Bam. We'll see how he's able to mix that up, but he's got to be very careful here in the opening round, or the openings of the second round.
If you notice the lead leg of Ricardo Chávez, completely red to the left side of the knee and the right side as well. And we see why. Another vicious inside leg kick. And another one yet by Valenzuela.
And it's just back and forth. He's just attacking it. He's doing a fantastic job attacking it. Not a lot of slowing down from Chávez witnessing yet, but that's what Valenzuela is trying to do. He's trying to slow him down, trying to really think about that lead leg so he can get on that overhand, right?
Nasty liver kick right there by Valenzuela. I was, you know, we've talked about this before, Alex. I was very fortunate to be on the call for a historic fight between Jose Aldo and Uriah Faber. And that's probably the fight that taught a lot of us what leg kicks can do to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
good and bad.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it teaches you how to, you know, check and you know, how important is checking those kicks. And it, you know, just the effects here that are happening to Chávez is, you know, maintaining that stance where he's unable to really lift his leg in time to check those kicks. But Chávez seems to be doing just fine. He says, hey, you know what, kick my leg, I don't care, I'm not going to check those kicks. Nice.
Going to the midsection there.
Really good there from Chávez mixing. That's really impressive about Chávez, or Valenzuela. He's really moving it. He's changing up all the attacks. But look how bright red that knee is.
Yeah, Valenzuela, as we said, breaking down his opponent slowly but surely. And then not changing his strategy. A lot of times we see the big boys, 185 pounds. You're expecting the big punch. You're expecting the big spinning back fist and the end of the fight. But I think Valenzuela, I like how he's working. Surgically, slowly, then again, but surely working on to finish his opponent without trying to, you know, overwork at it.
I think you're right, Francisco. I think this is kind of the strategy that's kind of he's got on his pedals, and he's having a good time, and he's getting the feel for this new weight class, and he's been very successful, and he doesn't seem to be too concerned about Chávez's power or his takedown ability. So Valenzuela's having a good time, just attacking that leg, and mixing it up really well.
And Valenzuela's like, oh, hey, come back at me again. And I'll welcome you with another kick.
But he's got to be careful that he doesn't get too complacent here. Chávez could come up with a stunning right hand. That could change the entire feeling of this second round.
And we've talked about that big leap by Valenzuela when it comes to weight classes. As we see another vicious leg kick. What do you think? Does it affect him at all? Are you looking at the solid performance that you expected from Valenzuela after that huge leap off at 15 pounds?
Yeah, you know, he's having a really good time, just enjoying, really picking apart Chávez. There's that right hand. That was a finishing shot. That's what I like to hear see with Valenzuela. Going for that finishing shot.
And Chávez gave off the back. A good chance for Valenzuela to go to the ground.
Got his back, doing a good job. Nice knee.
Huge knee. Another one right there. And you see the flexibility from Valenzuela. He's 6'2". He's ripped, but he can move. He's flexible.
Yeah, he's very, very talented. He's a super athlete. Good movement there from Bam Bam. Looping left hook. Now there's no answering right now from Chávez. And the tempo here is starting to slow down a little bit. Might show a little bit of fatigue there. We're starting to see it from Bam Bam. There's that right hand I was telling you about Chávez. Right down the pipe. This barely graces and misses.
Yeah, and we saw him breathing out of his mouth right now. Valenzuela, and that's why I was asking you if you think this change in weight classes will affect him somehow when it comes to the conditioning as well. We see a bigger, ripped Iván Valenzuela, but what do you think?
Well, you got to think about, you know, how much is this psychological effect of going up a weight class is going to really take on you, or on your ability to work on your cardio, on your endurance. But let's take a look at some of the replays here. Again, this is mixing it up, going high with the leg, with the lead leg, attacking right hand that just barely misses. I think if Bam Bam just pulls off with a little bit more combinations, he might be able to land that right hand he's been waiting on all night. Little desperate shots there from Chávez that just barely misses. I mean, it's hard to really close the distance when, you know, the opponent's 6'2".
Esquinas, esquinas, pegados.
So we're
Pegados.
close to seeing the
final.
third round.
¿Estás listo?
Let's see if Chávez
¿Listo?
can provide an
¿Listo?
answer,
A pelear.
because so far it's been all Iván Valenzuela. And a great show of appreciation between both fighters, who are giving it all despite the pandemic, despite the struggle that the world is living in. But we're having, you know, a great time so far here, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great little looping left hook there from Valenzuela. Oh, nice mix up there. I really enjoy watching Valenzuela mixing up the striking. Love to see a little bit more combinations. But look at that leg of Chávez, Francisco. Just bright red.
And we haven't really seen him change to the lefty stance, something a lot of fighters do when they get punished on that front leg.
Well, when you're looking at the attacks on the front leg, it's more on the inside leg kicks that are doing it, that we're seeing and we're witnessing. You know, there's some damage to the outside, but he hasn't really delivered those outside leg kicks as often.
Chávez going for that jab to the midsection. Valenzuela answering quickly. Bouncing against the cage, and Valenzuela once again trying to tee up on his opponent. Oh, wow.
Caught him in the sky.
Uh-huh. Huge overhand right from Valenzuela. Chávez trying to move around a little bit, trying to surprise Valenzuela, but he has not been moved at all.
Good defense there from Valenzuela. Got one hook in. He's got one arm trapped on the other side. Breaks away. Well, looks like Valenzuela doesn't want any of that ground game. He wants to keep this fight standing.
He's comfortable. He's been able to pick apart his opponent. Very close to his corner right there with Sergio Draco Cosillo, LUX Fight League's lightweight champion. They've been doing a very good camp. When you look at the adjustments and the way he's improved with his striking, you can tell it's been a good camp so far.
It really has. You know, it's incredible that these fighters are able to really have a good camp when you're at the gym with your coach and there's nobody else in there. You know, you get to focus on your athletes, and you get to really, you know, your training partner is going to be one thing to really develop this fight camp. But Valenzuela seems to be doing great. He's having a good time in the cage. Looks like he got his eye poked.
Valenzuela going forward once again. We have 2 minutes left. Bam Bam is going for his third win, and it seems like Chávez won't have a shot to stop him, but you know, we never know. He's a dangerous guy. His experience is his 15th fight as a pro. So plenty of time left here. Just under 2 minutes. Anything can happen when you get to the middleweights. Oh, good left right there by Chávez. That's what we're talking about. One punch can change the fight.
Absolutely. Chávez is still, you know, Valenzuela's been really light on Chávez. You know, considering all the damage that he has done the last 2 rounds, Bam Bam is just kind of toying with him right now and allowing Chávez to get the better of him.
Now, Alex, if you're dominating the fight as you are, or as Valenzuela is, let's say if it were you, would you go for the knockout or just keep on slowly trying to pick your opponent apart?
Well, you know, it's hard to say what the situation is for Bam Bam, but you know, when you're fighting you want to fight and finish the fight as soon as possible. But you know, it could be that Valenzuela is moving up in a weight class. He's understood that he's really has been dominating this fight, and he's learning from this fight. Time on the cage. But again, it's a risky move, and we'll see what Bam Bam decides to do for the remainder of the 40 seconds.
All right, we're just about done here. Last 30 seconds of the third and final round between Iván Valenzuela and Ricardo Chávez. And look at Valenzuela going lefty now and using the karate kick right there.
He's got good moves, excellent movement there from Bam Bam, and there's a lot of hop and a lot of movement from Chávez as well.
Not the same Valenzuela that we saw in the first 2 rounds. I think fatigue has played a part in it, but still a very dominant performance, which was crowned by that big slam, big takedown there by Iván Valenzuela, who is about to go 4-1 in his young professional career, trying to find a place now within the middleweights in LUX Fight League.
Well, he definitely did that tonight, especially coming up and having a great debut at 185 pounds. Good for Bam Bam, and I'm curious to talk to him after this fight and get to know him a little bit better in terms of, you know, how he felt in his performance, you know, what's he planning on doing at this weight class. But let's take a look at some of the replays. Outside leg kick. Now those are the ones that can cause a lot of damage. There's that when he caught him in the sky. Outside leg kicks. Bam, those are the ones that really, really do a lot of damage to the leg.
So we're gonna see if it was a unanimous decision. I think that's where we're going. A unanimous decision. Victory for Iván Valenzuela, but the voice of LUX Fight League, Felipe De Maria, is ready to go with the official decision. Valenzuela now 3-1. His opponent, Ricardo Chávez, 6-8. And here's Felipe De Maria.
Señores y señores, después de 3 asaltos nos vamos a las tarjetas de los jueces que calificaron el combate 30-27, 30-27, 30-26. After 2 rounds, we go to the scorecards for a decision. The judges scored the fight 30-27, 30-27, 30-26. To declare the winner by unanimous decision, Iván Bam Bam Valenzuela.